Hey, welcome back. I'm Joey Paisano and this is Joey's Wine Rack. We are doing our Summer Sippers series. I know right now I can say it. Who knows later on? We have great guests with us. And there they are. We're going to toss it up next time and we'll see what they can do. So far we tasted the Griot from Sicily. Everybody thought it was pretty good, huh? Okay. So now we're going to do something else, of course. Ciconea. I think I pronounced it right, but I'm also looking upside down. Vinho Verde. How many people took Spanish in high school?
I did, but I don't remember that.
Yeah, me neither.
And I'm still taking it.
I can help you with
I'm in
that.
7th grade.
I know that means green.
Yep. Verde means green. And you can see the color a
Is
little
it
bit.
green?
Color's a little green, though. Okay. And on this one, and I always read wine labels when I'm drinking. Kind of like anytime I get new music, I'm always looking, where's it from, I love liner notes, and sometimes when CDs come across, there's no liner notes. I hate that. Word to some of the people I know, when I get your CD, I want liner notes. I mean, it'd be cool to say, thanks, Joey, but anyway, so Ciconea Vinho Verde from Spain, and on the back there, all it says is white wine. So there's no vintage on this, and the reason why, anybody have an idea?
It doesn't fit in any one of those categories? I don't know.
Vintage usually is, what they can do is typically, although not always, is they'll do these are 2012, these are 2011, whatever. When they have no vintage on it, it means they took a little bit from maybe 2011, a little bit from 2012, and kind of blended it together. This also is not a single grape. It's going to be a blend, so the back just says white wine. So we're going to have white wine. And one of the first things we do, of course, we did that. White wines typically will come in a clear bottle, so you can see that, yes, in fact, it is white wine. So we look at that. A little bit of a green, a lot of fingerprints on it. Ooh. A little bit of green tinge to it, not anything disgusting. It's not like, this is St. Patty's Day wine. But one of the cool things, when I open this, remember, we talked about it earlier. It's up. Say it like you mean it.
What was the second?
Enclosure. Stelvin enclosure.
So we need to say that sometimes.
Stelvin enclosure. Yes, you could call it a screw top, but really wide. So,
Stelvin enclosure sounds.
yeah, sounds cool.
Sounds
Looks like
Classic.
Yes,
Yeah,
sounds classic.
And we're going to go this way this time in the rain. See, nothing to smell.
Nope.
So this is the Vinho Verde you
I'm
ordered,
going to
right?
ask me to read something on you without my glasses on.
I'm getting the point.
Because I'm going to need a magnifying glass then. I'll talk to the kids.
And we get our little drop stop. I'm massive, so I can do this.
You need to use a new one with each bottle of wine.
No, but I've forgotten what to do. In the other part of the studio, thanks for pointing that out.
It's also the age thing that gets in there and you forget things.
Yeah. Hey!
Oh, come on.
The age, the wine.
Yeah, that's the one. All right, so we're going to pour this way this time.
Thank you.
Do the little. Ooh, and what do we
That's
notice?
how it fizz.
It's a little effervescence. So,
It's fruity. Fruitier than the last one, I think. Are you gonna ask me what kind of fruit?
not yet. But you can go ahead and taste now, and then we'll fill everybody, or let everybody taste some.
Fizz. Has a little bit more taste. The taste lingers a little bit longer, I think. But still light. It's, you know, it's light and it's crisp. It's a little different than the last one because it's got that the fizz with it. You know.
We're gonna go this way this time. And Vinho Verde really means it's green wine. Vino Verde, green wine. There's your Spanish lesson.
Doesn't smell quite as fruity. So is there not a way to know that it's more fizzy for opening
Yeah.
it?
Because usually the sparkling wines are the ones that are
Yeah.
kind of.
Again, this is partially my fault because I didn't do my homework. I should have probably done this before or later. It's just the way it works out. Because I do know that Vinho Verde is a green wine and it is a little fizzy to it. So we got a little effervescence going on.
It's a lot more sour.
Yeah, it has more of a
It
taste
tastes
that
apple,
stays.
green apple.
Mm.
Yeah, so kind of going with that green theme.
Mm.
So what do we think?
It's good, I like the last one better, but I think this one is refreshing, still light, stays with you a little bit
Sweeter.
longer.
You think this one's sweeter?
I think it tastes sweeter.
I think it's sour.
No wrong answer.
Our taste buds are all different.
How about you, Rochelle?
I think it doesn't have the
Did you
same
kill me?
bite as the one before. The one before, the citrus seemed to have more bite, and this is actually, well, a little more citrusy. It has less sharpness to it, for me.
I think the bubbles kind of counteract that a little
Right.
I'm
bit.
gonna tone down the sharp.
There you go.
I mean, you can like, obviously you can feel the bubbles when it kind of goes in, but like for me, kind of like the real like back of my throat, back of the tongue, I can really kind of taste that little like sourness.
So you, since we tasted something else, you can taste it in, now you can tell that you taste in different spots.
Yeah.
Typically, unless you're doing something like this or somewhere else, if you're doing a tasting, you're doing verticals or whatever, you're gonna taste things differently. You're not really gonna think about it. If you're at a restaurant, you're gonna have one bottle or one glass of the same stuff. You don't typically switch over. Because we're not typical here. I like it. This might be maybe a little more festive, but on a bit more of a budget, which actually reminds me. What I typically do in the show is my sweet spot is anything $15 and below. I don't typically go really super cheap, although we might. There's one that I know of that is $4.99. It's fantastic, especially for the price. So you can spend a lot of money for the walk. You know, if you can still get a good bottle of wine, it's not going to break the bank. Then you're typically going to, and I'm not, trying to make money for the wine store or wherever. You're going to have a little bit more instead of, I can't spend $25 and have it for a night. I might be able to spend $12.50 and have it for a night. Now, when I do it, when it typically is just me, I'll have, this is the size glass I have, and I usually go up right about here. So, yes, I do have a glass of wine every night, but it's not like I'm hammering it down or it's this massive glass. Suddenly the bottle is here, I can get 2 glasses out of a bottle of wine. So it's, some moderation. But I like this. This would be something that I would probably do, again, kind of sitting on the patio, but maybe have some of the strawberries would go
Right.
really well with this. I think some of the melon would go well. Lighter cheese, something smoked, I'm not sure that would fly with that. Havarti or something like that. Or Velveeta. Spray cheese. So. Tastes bubbly.
Taste the bubbles.
I do.
It's okay. And I've got one thing I'm sorry I neglected to do, so everybody needs to get a little bit more, so fill up, or not fill up, a little bit. About what I poured, because I screwed up. He much screwed up. I realized when I was pouring my had my right hand shaking a little bit. But you're not gonna hook your mom up.
John,
She's too nice to say it, but I'll say it.
see,
WTF, buddy?
be nice to your mama, it's the one
Absolutely.
you have.
All right, so what I neglected to do, anytime I do a show, I always have a toast. First toast that we do is always to Kat. Kat was this amazingly cool person that actually owned the wine shop that I worked at for about 10 years. So she's a beautiful lady. Sadly, we've lost her. It's been several years now. Because of her, I've been able to meet my sister Jeno and Chriso and lots of other really amazing people, Christy. And so the first one is Kat. Here's to you, Kat. Love you. Thanks. And that's Kat up there. It's a really big table. So on a 10 scale, I didn't actually rate the first one. I tend to not be quite too generous sometimes. The first one, the Griot, I would probably give that about 7.5. I think it certainly depends on my mood. I would give this one very different still. I would give that, I'm leaning kind of about the same spot. Even though, mostly because it's different, but yet kind of the same. Hopefully we'll get some more stuff.